Hi everyone, this is Liliana again. Just wanted to give you a quick video for this week's online collaboration. This week is really laying the groundwork and the foundation for exploring ecological systems development theory. And so we've included the original source text from Bronfenbrenner in addition to González Mena. And so I think that it's good to have both. Obviously, having the source material is great. It's also very academic and can be very dense and hard to understand. And so wanted to give you a different text that provides some more up-to-date language and more accessible language to understand ecological systems development theory, and then also included the NAEYC Code of Ethics, because I think it does a really good job of looking at our work as educators within the context of the classroom, the child, the family, and the larger community. So it really kind of follows the understanding of the child in context and kind of sort of inspires this visual that's usually representative of ecological systems theory, of those, concentric circles with a child in the middle. So I'll share with you what I'm asking you all to do. So again, I'm asking you all to introduce yourself, your name and your role, and where you live now, where you grew up. Share a person, place, or thing that represents family or community to you. Actually, I don't have it in front of me, so give me a second. I'm going to go get it. Okay, I got it. Okay, so the person, place, or thing that represents family and or community to you, and then share a takeaway, something important, interesting, intriguing, or something that you're sort of grappling with too, around the text that we've provided, focused on Bronfenbrenner, but you can also pull in the González Mena text or the NAEYC Code of Ethics as well. So again, my name is Liliana Flores Amaro, and I'm currently faculty at CU Denver, and I previously have been a teacher, a coach, an evaluator, mostly in early childhood settings, so from infants and toddlers to preschool, and I've worked in a variety of settings, both in private as well as Head Start settings. I grew up in Northeast Denver, and I still live in Northeast Denver. It's where my family is, and my family emigrated to the United States in the 70s and 80s and settled in Northeast Denver, and that's kind of where we've been ever since. And then the person, place, or thing that represents family or community to me is this. You see it sometimes in like Mexican restaurants, or it's kind of like that tin star with cutouts and different colored gems in there, and I think that it represents not only sort of the different spokes that sort of represent different arms of my family. I think it represents community to me because each one of the spokes sort of has different colored jewels in there, and each of them kind of brings something different, but it makes it all really beautiful when the light shines through. So I think that's what I think. It's also it also comes from Mexico, and so it represents my family and my community to me as well. A takeaway that I have for the Bronfenbrenner text, when I first learned about this particular theory and approach, it really just blew my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense now. I like thinking in systems, and I like thinking in patterns, and so this just really named and gave me a framework to think about how I engaged with families and communities and children. And I found it really interesting to think about just like how decisions and actions that happen sort of very much outside of the typical daily sphere of a child or a life have a tremendous impact on them. And I also have a background in advocacy and civic engagement, and so thinking about those things that are going on in the exo and the macro systems, it was really, really, really close to my heart, because I feel like those are the things that we should be paying attention to, and often just with the way that life goes, we don't think about the impacts and implications of those decisions and those systems on our daily lives. One of the things that I was wondering about upon learning about the theory is like, where is the give or take? How defined are the different systems? How does my own autobiographical systems map look like? What might be in the exosystem for one person could be in the microsystem for another. And so I was just thinking about both applying it to my own life and then figuring out how to apply it to my children and my students in the classroom, and not necessarily having the time to be able to craft a really detailed map for each of my students. And so that was one of the things that I grappled with for a long time, is just that, again, that push-pull, what's influencing what and who's influencing who in the systems, and then, you know, how to apply thinking about this framework to a classroom setting with more than one child, where you can really go in depth. So that's where I came from when I first learned about this theory, and I hope that I have learned how to communicate just how you might be able to expand on how to use this theory with children and students in your classroom. So I can't wait to hear from you and see your videos and get to know a little bit about your story. So again, any questions, just holler out. All right. Thank you.